Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome to this week's episode of 6 Things, more or less. Today we're going to be making peperonata. I was inspired to make this dish because our producers love sausage and peppers. But where I grew up in Italy, we didn't make sausage and peppers. We make peperonata al sugo, stir-fried sweet peppers, which has a little bit of tomato sauce mixed into it. So today we are going to make my version of sausage and peppers, peperonata al sugo, and I'm going to serve it with Italian sausage. The 6 things I'm going to be using to make peperonata today are sweet peppers, red and yellow, onion, garlic, parsley, basil, tomatoes. A few more things I'm going to be using today are olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then of course I'm going to be using the Italian sausage, grilling it up to serve with the peperonata. You always want to wash your produce, at least rinse it off, because people have been touching it when they picked it, when they put it out on the shelf. I have a lot of peppers here. Charring peppers. I always char my peppers because, to be honest, it gives you less gas after you eat the peppers, particularly with green peppers. I always char my green peppers and take the skin off because otherwise I literally spend days digesting them. There's a couple ways to do this. I have a gas stove, which I love, and I'm gonna do some of the peppers on top of the stove and some of the peppers in the broiler. So for broiling our peppers, super easy. You're just gonna place them on your broiler pan. I turn my broiler on to high. The great thing about this is that you can fit a lot of them on there. You stick them in for about 3 minutes. If they're bubbled up on top, you just turn them to the part that's not bubbled up, and you keep turning them until they're done on all the sides. If you have a gas stove, you have the option to char the peppers on your stovetop. That's gonna be a faster process, but you can't do as many at a time as you can with your broiler. I hope I'm doing this right, because last week my mother called me after my pomodoro con riso episode and told me that I had done 3 things wrong. So, Mom, hopefully I'm doing this correctly. Look at that. Yummy! These are hot right now, right out of the broiler. You want either a plastic container or you can use a large BPA-free plastic zip bag. You want all plastic products that you use for food to be BPA-free. Transfer these peppers into your container. Pop that lid on. Zip that up. And the steam from the peppers is gonna help pull that skin off. It's gonna make our job in a little while a lot easier. Okay. I wish we had smell can. If you could smell the way these peppers smell, you'd run out and make them right now. You remember how they looked before they were charred? Now they're really wrinkly. This is gonna make the whole process of taking the peel off so much easier. So you use a knife, doesn't have to be sharp, you're not cutting anything, and you're just gonna scrape that peel right off of there. You don't have to get every single bit of it off. Slice that open and scrape the seeds out. And then after you scrape it, you're just gonna cut it into fillets like that. My zia Anna used to make this. This was her specialty. And in the summers, I used to stay with them. And there was one Saturday night, so my aunt had prepared peperonata al sugo for the next day, and she had a giant pot full of it. And my cousin Monica and I got home from the discotheque, la discoteca, and we were hungry. And so we looked in the refrigerator, and sure enough, there was this giant pot of peppers. We ate the entire thing. It's a miracle I'm still standing here. My aunt was so mad. But that is how delicious this dish is. So we've peeled all of our peppers. Now let's make our peperonata. I'm gonna use sweet onions for this because I think it gives it a better flavor. I'm actually going to thinly slice them because I want them to be visible inside the peperonata. Slicing it into about 1/8-inch slices. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna take a break and go wipe my eyes. A 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/1002. And I'm gonna heat that on a medium heat. I'm just gonna do very thin slices of this garlic. That might be too much garlic, I'm thinking. What do you think? Nah, there's no such thing as too much garlic. Meanwhile, my family's like, what? How much garlic are you putting in? Now let's get our peppers ready. So we're just gonna slice these up. And if there's any piece of skin that's coming out at the, while you're slicing, or you see a seed, just take that out. But you don't want them too small. That's about a 1/2 inch strip, right? 1/4 to a 1/2 inch strip, 3/8 inch strips. My gosh, there's a lot of math in cooking. And as I slice those, I'm just gonna add them to my pan. So I'm just gonna add a little salt and pepper to this. Just a pinch of salt. I'm gonna turn this down to medium-low. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, and it's so pretty. Okay, black pepper or a little bit of chili pepper flakes. I'm gonna go with chili pepper flakes. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, I don't want this to be spicy. I just want it to bring out the piquantness, as it were, of the peppers. Put that in there. This already is peperonata. Onions, garlic, sweet peppers in olive oil with a little bit of salt and chili pepper or pepper. But, as I said, I'm going to make peperonata al sugo. And the way I'm going to do that is to just add tomatoes. You could do this with, obviously, with fresh tomatoes. If you have tomato sauce that you've made and you have some left over, you could just pour that on top of there. This is a really easy step. So I'm just gonna whir these up with my immersion blender. A tablespoon of chopped parsley. I don't pick the leaves off the stems. Everything goes in. Never, never, never waste food. I'm going to take a moment in this show to praise my husband, Paul. Remember the basil plant from episode 2? Well, check this baby out. A couple of basil things. Rough chop that as well. So you see how the onions are really starting to caramelize in here? That's what we want. We want this all to get super wilty. I'm just gonna now add my pureed tomatoes and just stir that in there. You wanna make sure that your tomato puree is evenly distributed throughout the peppers. You're just gonna cover that with either a cover, if you're lucky enough to have one, or aluminum foil. I'm gonna let that simmer for about 20 minutes. While that's simmering, I am gonna go ahead and cook our sausages, which is not hard at all because all I have to do is grill them up. This is my stovetop grill. I love this thing. Looks like a hubcap or a steering wheel. And you put your meat on top of there, it grills, and then the fat just drips into this little trough. It works on top of any stove. It works really great. I've got that on a medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna let that heat up for about a minute before I put the sausages on. And just place these right on that grill pan. See how this is getting all caramelized? I just love those colors. The sausages have been cooking for about 10 minutes aside. Oh yeah, these are done. I'm gonna cut this down the middle and then serve the peperonata on top. A little bit of the peperonata on top, or a lot of the peperonata on top. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. All right. Peperonata al sugo con salsicce. My version of sausage with peppers. 6 things, more or less. Hi, it's Michelle. Thanks for watching 6 Things, more or less. If you enjoyed what you saw today, give us a like, maybe share it on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe! And...
the glass bit.
You had one sip of wine.
And hit the bell, and hit the bell, and hit the bell to be notified of future episodes.